we can change the habits, we'll be on the right path. So every single day, every day, Sunday included, Sunday being the rest day, we're saying, can we agree to unite? And unity means share values and share responsibility. So can we value that every Monday, you might want to write this down, every Monday will be our safety day. Can we agree that every Monday we're going to turn our attention to safety? We're going to make sure our smoke detectors work. We're going to make sure our neighbors' smoke detectors work. We're going to look at and make sure that we know that our children, we got the latest pictures and fingerprints for the young people in our homes. So that if they do come up missing, we can give the police more accurate information about the way they look last with their fingerprints work. Abandoned buildings on the block. Every Monday, let's make sure that we pay attention and write down who owns those properties or do the research and find out what their plans are to get that blighted house off the block. So that's the Monday agenda, every Monday. Every Tuesday, Education Day. We know it's a lot of activists out there fighting for education. Well, you can fight for education all you want, but if you don't have a connection to the people, it's going to stay an isolated silo of people who are concerned about it. Well, we're saying, can everyone turn their attention to education on Tuesdays? Let's find out how many young people on your block in your neighborhood dropped out of school, don't have a GED, that we can help them get into adult education. Let's find out which kids are failing in school that we can assist and find out what incentives we can give them to inspire them to do more. Let's make sure that people have updated resumes. We know what career choices they want to go into, and let's link them with professionals already doing it. That's our Tuesday agenda. Now, Wednesday. We're saying every single Wednesday, let Wednesday be our economic day. Let Wednesday be the day that we're going to financially come together and keep our money out of the hands of people who don't care about us. Why should we give our money to people who can care less about our existence? When someone is shot and killed, instead of them coming together to help their family bury that young when they say, oh well. So we got to really look at who we give our dollars to and make sure that our dollar, just like Chinatown, Greektown, Little Italy, and 26th Street, the dollar stays there in Chicago 9 days before it leaves the community. Some reports estimate. In the black community, it stays 4 hours. So you can't rebuild anything if the dollar is not there to turn around and touch the hands of the people who live there. So we saying Wednesdays, these other businesses in our community should scratch their head and wonder, what's going on? Every Wednesday we're losing money. That will show unity, which is the shared value, and the responsibility is us not to spend our money on that day. That's unity, and that'll give us great leverage when it comes to interacting with people in our neighborhood. So I gave you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Actually, today is Thursday. So every Thursday is Health Day. We understand the health challenges we face across this country, person to person, obesity, lead poisoning, HIV. So can we take Thursdays and let's start a regimen dealing with living healthier, whether it's going to the doctor, getting a mammogram, getting your colon checked for the men, whether it's finding out, doing your homework on lead poisoning and asthma, your family member that might be going through that. Let's just agree that Thursday will be the day we make sure that we're living healthier. Friday, which is tomorrow, Senior Citizens Day. Let's agree that every Friday we're going to do something special for the elders. What do you think what impact that'll have on our senior citizens when young people are walking up to them and saying, let me cut your grass, shovel your snow, rake your leaves, let me sit at your foot and listen at the historical the history that you have and the wisdom that you have. That's going to build stronger generational ties between the elders and the young people when we honor them on Fridays. Then the last day is Saturday, and that's the youth day. Let's spend our time, which most people do already, with your children. You're not at work, spend time with the young people. What if the young people was engaged on Saturdays by adults all over the nation? What impact that'll have on them and making them feel wanted, especially our teenagers. So, that's our agenda. It's and Sunday rest day, so we rest on Sunday. But that's our agenda, that we feel that if we can take that message out there, house to house, block to block, person to person, what it's really giving them is structure. It's giving them a daily living habit, which is what people who work has. They have a habit, a routine that they follow, And for the people that's not working, that might not have structure, this gives them that to just make their lives better. So we do that. The last part I want to tell you about is the CUDS. And the CUDS is our biggest tool that we use. And what CUDS is, it stands for Centralized Uniform Delivery System. Let me say that again. CUDS stands for Centralized Uniform Delivery System. And the purpose of this, it is the frame that I talked about, the structural frame that holds the car together. It's centralized, meaning everything comes back to this structure that we're talking about. There's 20 Chicago zip codes. 20 Chicago zip codes that anchor CUDS. Alright? These zip codes, there's 6 zip codes on the west side, it's 6 zip codes on the south side, and it's 8 zip codes on the east side. These 20 zip codes are primarily where the African American community is very strong. And what we have inside those zip codes are what we call governors. And the governors are the leaders for the entire zip code. Each governor has 6 people that sits on the board with them. So a total of 7 people in every zip code. So 7 people times 20 zip codes is 140 people that are sitting down and agreeing to make sure that they're covering their neighborhood, their zip code. So the daily living habits that I gave you are the 6 people. Alright? So you have a Monday person, a Monday governor, a Tuesday governor, a Wednesday governor, a Thursday governor, a Friday governor, and a Saturday governor. Remember what the days mean. That means you have a safety governor, education governor, economic governor, health governor, senior governor, and a youth governor. Those 6 governors for that zip code oversees the operations in that zip code, the promotion of those daily living habits in that zip code. And the 7th person is the chairman. That chairman is the person that holds those 6 people together so that in each one of these 20 zip codes, they have a board that's sitting there fighting for the interests in each one of those categories. So that's the CUDS anchor, or the backbone of the CUDS. Now, to support those 20 zip codes, what we have is we have 6 national leaders. And the national leader is, once again, a Monday, a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday national leader. So we have a safety national leader, an education national leader, economic national leader. Those people sit and they're connected across the country to make sure that that agenda is being pushed all over America. Now, every single zip code, all 20 zip codes in Chicago are linked, strategically linked to a U.S. city. So, for instance, 60629, which is where I am now, in the Chicago Lawn Marquette Park neighborhood, it's linked to Washington, D.C. It is our responsibility in 60629 to keep up to date with what's happening in D.C. and keep Chicago up to date with that, because it's our responsibility. Remember what unity is: shared values and responsibility. So if we do our job keeping in touch with D.C., that increases opportunities for the people of D.C. The young people in D.C. that's sitting around bored with nothing to do can now travel to Chicago because this is their anchor zip code. So we just increase opportunities for D.C. children to travel here to Chicago and vice versa. The Chicago children, 60629, traveling to Washington, D.C. 60649 in the South Shore neighborhood in Chicago, linked to Miami, Florida. So creating opportunities for the children and the families in Miami to come to Chicago and vice versa. The purpose of this is the problems that we face are national problems. We have to have a national strategy to do it, and our centralized uniform delivery system is the linkage company, if you will. It's that structural frame that keeps us all united on that one frame of the car. So that's why these zip codes are linked to these cities. It's so that we, from Chicago, can anchor this movement across America. Now,